So this is looking at taxes. And if we look at taxes, the amount that is paid in taxes is the price of the tax times the quantity that is sold with the tax in place. And that will vary depending on how much the supply curve or the demand curve shifts. And if the suppliers or if the sellers are responsible for submitting the tax to the government, then the supply curve will shift to the left. So if the sellers are responsible, supply curve shifts left by the amount of the tax. And by responsible, I just mean in charge of sending the amount that they collect to the government. Generally, when we are looking at questions, we assume that the suppliers are the ones that are paying the tax because it's easier for the suppliers to keep track of how much they've sold. So if we look at this example, we can see that from S1 to S2, we shifted up from $4.25 to $5.50. So $5.50 minus $4.25 tells us that our tax amount is $1.25. Because that's how much the curve shifted to the left. We can calculate the amount of the tax that is being imposed on the buyers, and that's calculated as this difference right here. So $5.50 to $4.50. So $1 of this $1.25 tax is being paid by the buyer. And if we were to divide that, we would see that that's 80%. So 80% of tax, of this particular tax, is being paid by consumers. And a tax is efficient if it accomplishes the goal that it's trying to accomplish. So if the goal is to raise money, then we want the deadweight loss generated by this tax to be as small as possible while the revenue that it's generating is large. If the goal is to change behavior, then we actually want the quantity to decrease more. So we have one more example, and this is just to look at the value of the tax. So to look again, we're going to be looking at how much we went up from D to point B, because that's from our supply curve before to our supply curve after. And we see that we went up $20. So this excise tax on ski lifts is $20 per ski lift ride, and it's paid or remitted by the seller.